Hello students, myself Akanksha Sangdevgurule. So in the today's lecture, you are going to study significance of wave function and the Schrodinger equation for hydrogen atom. So I hope that you have watched our previous video. In the previous video, we have discussed the time independent Schrodinger equation. So how that Schrodinger equation has come, what is the significance of that Schrodinger equation, and what things we get from the Schrodinger equation, that all we have seen in the previous lecture. So in that there was a concept of wave function. So wave function is the displacement of the particle or displacement of the electron or semi or small particles, okay? So, in the today's lecture, we are going to study the significance of wave function. So, why we are going to study the wave function? The wave function is a mathematical expression of microscopic particle. It carries the crucial information about the particle it is associated with. From the wave function, we obtain the energy, angular momentum, and the orbital orientation of the particle. So, by studying the wave function, what the things we get? We get the knowledge about the energy of that particle. Also, we get the information about angular momentum of the particle and the orbital orientation of that particle. So, by knowing this information, we can get the information about the particle. So for example, we get the information about the electron. So by getting the information about energy, we can say that the electron is moving in so and so orbital. So it is present in s orbital, it is present in a p orbital. That information we get from the wave function. The wave function can have a positive or the negative signs. It is also important when the wave function of two or more atoms combine to form a molecule. So, the wave function with like signs will interfere constructively, leading to the possibility of bonding. Okay, so from that we understand that from the knowledge of wave function, we can say that whether that molecule or that atoms will have the bonding between them or not. Will they interfere with each other? Is it okay? So the wave function with unlike signs will interfere destructively. That means they will not form a bond. Whereas the wave function with the same signs will have the constructively interference. That means there is the possibility of bonding. Is it okay? The next is the significance of probability density. So the what information we get from the probability density, that is psi square. So wave function is a psi and probability density is the psi square. So similarly, as the significance of wave function, we will see the significance of probability density. So psi square is the probability density. It tells us where the electron is most likely to be found in the space around the nucleus. So what information we get from the probability density? That where that electron lies around the nucleus. That means we get the information about in which shell that electron is revolving. That means the probability of finding the electron in the space around the nucleus. Next is if psi square is maximum, then probability of finding electron is maximum around the nucleus, and the place where probability of finding the electron is maximum is called the electron density, electron cloud, or an atomic orbital. It is different from the Bohr's orbit. So here we get the information that as the psi square, that is probability of finding electron, is maximum, that means the electron density is maximum. Is it okay? So here we come to the definition of electron density. That is the place at which the probability of finding the electron is maximum. That is called as a electron density. Is it okay? The next is the solution of this equation provides a set of number called the quantum numbers, which describes the specific or definite energy state of electron in atom and information about the shape and orientation of the most probable distribution of electrons around the nucleus. So when we solve the equations for the psi square, we get a set of numbers. That numbers are called as a quantum numbers, which describes the specific or definite energy state of the electron in an atom, and we get the information where that electron is present, that means in which shell the electron is present, or in which orbital the electron is present, or how the orientation of electron is there. So all this information we get from the probability density. Is it okay? The next is Schrodinger equation for the hydrogen atom. So the hydrogen atom or the hydrogen-like atoms such as helium, lithium, beryllium, that is helium plus, lithium 2 plus, beryllium 3 plus, etc. are the simplest atomic system consisting simply one electron and the nucleus. So students, point out here that here is a helium plus, lithium 2 plus and beryllium 3 plus. So by mistake these signs are there. So it is helium 2 plus, lithium 2 plus and beryllium 3 plus. I am repeating, it is helium plus, lithium 2 plus, beryllium 3 plus. Is it okay? Why these systems are taken? Because this system contains only simply one electron and the nucleus. Okay? So for the simplicity, we are taking the systems having one electron and the nucleus. The exact solution of Schrodinger equation for this simple one electron atomic system have been done. However, in the system with more than one electron, only approximate solutions of the Schrodinger equations are possible due to the mathematical calculation. The Schrodinger equation for the hydrogen atom. The hydrogen atom and hydrogen-like atoms, helium plus, lithium 2 plus, beryllium 3 plus, are the simplest atomic system consisting simply one electron and the nucleus. The exact solution of the Schrodinger equation for this simple one electron atomic system have been done. However, in the system with more than one electron, only approximate solutions of Schrodinger equation are possible due to the mathematical calculation. So to solve the wave equation, the Cartesian coordinate, that is x, y, z, are converted into the spherical polar coordinates r, theta, phi. So as we know that in a simple three-dimensional graph, there is an x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So that is known as a Cartesian coordinates. So now converting them into the spherical polar coordinates r, theta, z. So what is this r, theta, phi? that we are going to see. So see, we know that in the three-dimensional graph, there is an x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So, but we are converting this Cartesian coordinate into the spherical polar coordinates. So, what are these spherical polar coordinates? See, imagine that there is a particle. So, the distance of particle or electron from the nucleus, that is here, is r. This is the one function. Now we are studying for the theta. Theta is the angle which radial distance r makes with the x-axis. Okay? With the z-axis, sorry. So here we are putting one line to the electron, and whatever that line makes an angle with the z-axis is known as a theta. And if we plot a line on the xy plane where that point intersect that xy plane, we are plotting one line again, and that line makes an angle phi with the x-axis, and that angle is known as a phi. Okay, so this is r, this is theta, and this is phi. Is it okay? So z is equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sin theta sin phi, x is equal to r sin theta cos phi. The Schrodinger equation is dabba square psi upon dx square plus dabba square psi upon dabba y square plus dabba square psi upon dabba z square plus 8 pi square m upon h square into bracket e minus v into psi is equal to 0. So this is the Schrodinger equation for the Cartesian coordinate. Is it okay? This we have studied in the previous chapter. The next, now transferring this in Cartesian coordinate into the spherical polar coordinate, the Schrodinger wave equation is 1 upon r square dabba by dabba r into bracket r square dabba psi upon dabba r plus 1 upon r square sin square theta dabba square upon dabba psi square dabba phi square plus 1 upon r square sin square theta dabba upon dabba theta plus sin theta dabba psi upon dabba theta plus 8 pi square m upon h square into e minus v psi is equal to 0. So this is the equation for the spherical polar coordinate. So reading this highly complicated equation, we are transferring them into the simplest one. The psi is equal to r into bracket small r, theta into bracket small theta, phi into bracket small phi. So what this r into r indicates, what this theta into theta indicates, and what this phi function of phi indicates. So r of function r is a function that depends on the distance from the nucleus that we have seen. It depends on the principal quantum number n and the angular momentum quantum number n. So what is it? It is the function of distance of electron from the nucleus, which depends on the principal quantum number n and the orbital angular momentum quantum number, that is in the simplest way azimuthal quantum number l. The next is theta. It is a function of theta and depends on the orbital angular momentum, that is azimuthal quantum number L, and the magnetic quantum number m. Phi is a function and depends on the magnetic quantum numbers m. Therefore, the above equation can be represented as psi is equal to r of r and l a m l. So what is this r and l a m l? See, psi is equal to r of function R and L, AML. So what is this R of function R and L indicates is a radial function that depends on the quantum number n and L. N is the principal quantum number, L is the azimuthal quantum number. AML is the total angular wave function that depends on the quantum number m and n. Is it okay? Thank you.